What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about two different cryptos today. You'll never guess which two. We're going to talk about TOSHI and Turbo in this video together. TOSHI first, and then Turbo. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 10th day of November. Here we are for TOSHI. Actually, we're not on the daily time frame. Here we are. 30526 is the price. 8 hours, 44 minutes left in the day. It's unfortunate that we pumped up so high and then we came back down, right? But it happens, right? Don't get too discouraged. Don't get too excited until we actually break out of this zone. I don't think we'll break out to the downside. I'm very much under the impression that we break out to the upside, but with how much consolidation we have down here, there is a situation, a scenario that plays out where we could break out a little bit and then come back up. So even if we break out to the downside, I would expect we find support shortly thereafter, and it'll likely have the same results as like a fake out. We'll likely come back up to the upside. I'm not expecting that we do that. I'm just saying that in case it happens. I really actually do expect that we break out of this zone to the upside, but I think the shorter term stuff will reveal that. So let's get into that. Looking at the 1 hour time frame here, $30526 right now, with higher lows nonetheless. I like this. You did drop pretty hefty last hour, and you did have a good bit of volume come in, but it's nothing too crazy. The RSI overall is more bullishly postured than bearishly postured, but you run the risk of going lower. Stochastics are at an area to reset. It's like you methodically move down here. MACD is at an area to reset. I think that you move up, man. I think that you're at a low point. I don't think that you go too much lower, personally. Low to high. If you go lower, again, not too much lower. 3051 likely holds a support. You're at 30528 right now. So nothing crazy. Nothing crazy if you go lower, but you should be finding support, I think. I mean, how many hours do we have left in the day? 8 hours, 42 minutes. I would think by the end of the day. I would think by the end of this day, right now we're at 30528. We close at a higher price than this. We close green to some degree. Maybe 3054. Maybe higher than even our high is today, right? Like maybe we close above 306. Who knows? These things can take off in a very short amount of time. But the 1 hour time frame does suggest that we are soon to find support and move higher. And with 8 hours left in the day, I would think that means we close the day higher than where we are now. 4 hour time frame here. The MACD, the stochastics are weird. They're wonky. They're volatile. But typically, you just kind of range, right, from the oversold to the overbought, oversold, like that. The fact that you've been doing this kind of stuff is odd to me. It might up the chances that we find resistance here, but then again, it might up the chances that you find support here as well. So I'm not going to really make a statement on the stochastics. Maybe they're odd because you're moving sideways. That actually makes a lot of sense. The RSI does have a nice uptrend, right? We've got a nice pronounced higher low, higher high trend here. It would make sense that you could go a little bit lower, or that soon enough you'd be finding support somewhere in this area. But it also makes sense that over the days, right, we're on the 4 hour time frame, over the days to come, you do progress to the overbought zone. And maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, somewhere in there, when you do get overbought, that's when the magic should really happen. That's when you should be, I think, not just breaking out of this zone, but probably getting back up to like 3068 to 3072, maybe higher than that. Who knows? The MACD is yet to cross above the zero, but you do look like you want to get there at some point. So over the coming days, you should see that. Overall, very positive structure on the 4 hour time frame. This makes me think that we don't break out to the downside. And again, I do think that we're at a relative area for support here. If not here, then a little bit lower. I doubt we go below 3051. Daily time frame now, looking at the daily indicators, the daily RSI has gotten oversold. The most oversold that we've been really since June. And outside of that, since April. Both very low points for TOSHI, right? And again, we actually did this the other day, or the last time that I talked about TOSHI. We were showing how, there's always this little last little drop here. This last little drop. It's about this same size every single time, right? They're quite literally the same size drops almost every single time. And we're getting that here. It's like the drop, I don't know what it is. It just looks the same. All of these last little drops, they all look the same to me. And what we're doing right here, the only difference here is that last time we had like a V-shaped recovery. But then it wasn't really a V-shaped recovery, was it? It was more of like an initial pop, and then you moved sideways, and then you moved up. Maybe we're just moving sideways without the initial pop. We kind of did that back here. I don't know. It just seems as though the course has been run for this downside move. Can we go lower? Of course, anything can happen. But from a low here, back in April, to the high here, we'll take this high, not the fake out high. You're right at the 382. It's a perfect area to find support. I think you move up higher. I definitely do. Looking at the daily time frame, RSI is at an area where it's resetting. where we've been at low points both times beforehand. Even here, relative low point. Stochastics have definitely reset. We're definitely bearish there though. And the MACD is bearish on the daily time frame as well. But again, you kind of have a double bottom here on your histogram. The last time that you saw these lows, you're at a relative low here. So I do think we move up. Does that mean that we can't move up and then come lower? No, we could. Anything can happen. But I do expect that once we move up here, we'll probably break out of this downtrend. We will likely just break out of this range overall, and we'll send it to new highs, new all-time highs altogether. Right? TOSHI, by the end of this year, by the end of 2025, from my own projections, is projected to see anything from about a half a cent to a 1 cent price by the end of the year. And if I'm wrong, it's only because you moved higher. Right? That's anything from an 8.5 to a 19x move between now and the end of this year. By the end of November, I would expect that we're well on our way. We're probably anywhere from like 0.0014 to 0.0017 or higher. But December's likely the time when we do see new all-time highs come into play. Anyways, that's TOSHI. Let's talk about Turbo now. Okay, Turbo USD. Looking at Turbo on the daily time frame. Actually, first off, the weekly time frame, since we're here already. Look at that the weekly finish we had. That's a nice reversal candle there. Very bullish doji candle there. It'd be nice if this week, I think, if we could close above 0025, 0026. Closing above there, I think, would be really good. Because then you get the solid body down, you get the doji candle at the bottom, then you get a solid engulfing candle on the way up. It's just a good reversal signal. I wonder if we actually have any examples of that happening here. Let me see. Do we have any? Kind of here, right? Actually, like right up here. It's not perfect, but it's kind of exactly what I just said, right? Solid body, except for here we had a solid body down, doji candle, and then we're looking for a solid body up. Here you had a solid body up, doji candle, and then a solid body down, and that was your reversal point. That was literally your high, your all-time high right there. Oh man, I remember everybody hated me. I have a lot. You guys are a lot friendlier now, but man, people used to hate me whenever I talk about how Turbo is likely going to pull back. Because you had all the massive exchanges in the crypto world, all like at the same time up here listed you. Like since here to here, and you had this massive run. It was just a matter of time before we saw a drawback. I didn't think that you'd be consolidating this long still, but to be fair, I thought the market would have kicked off its bull run by now. To be completely fair. Looking at the short-term stuff, let's look at the 1 hour time frame. Okay. A little bit of a sell-off in the last hour, but I think the whole crypto markets just did that, so I'm not really worried about it. The RSI is bullish. It is bullish overall. Stochastics are reset, ready to go, and the MACD bullish overall. I mean, you could come a little bit lower. All these indicators would allow for the price to come a little bit lower, but probably not much, and then you likely do recover and move higher. 4 hour time frame. We're not getting a whole lot off of that 1 hour time frame, and it's probably because we've just been moving sideways here. 4 hour time frame. Looking at this, you do have a bit of a higher low, higher high structure. We're finding some turbulence here. Hopefully we can curb these wobbles and move higher. Okay, if we're looking at this, let me just see. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, I think it'd be good for this 4 hour candle to close green. Oh man, 36 minutes left though. If it closes red here, it's not detrimental, but you are kind of breaking structure on this, and that could promote more consolidation. I would think you're either going to break out within the next 24 hours to the upside, or you're going to pull back down to about 002 to 0019. That might be perfect. Maybe you pull back to 002 itself. Interesting. I don't know. Let's just look at these indicators real quick. Rejecting the overbought zone. Okay, so my gut is telling me we're going to break out to the upside. Okay. But the charts, if I'm being realistic, at least as of now, are telling me that we likely pull back to 0.002 to 0.0019, somewhere in that zone. That's what the charts are telling me. And then from there, you probably find support and move up higher. It could happen. I could see it happening. The daily stochastic suggests we go higher. The RSI has not broken its lower high structure yet, but you're looking to do that. The stochastics, I think, will get you there. And the MACD does have bullish divergence, of which we're just kind of exacting this move. So I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back down here, maybe tomorrow, Tuesday, 0019 to 002, somewhere in that area, and then we continue to rally. But again, my gut is telling me this is going to break out to the upside, but the charts, the indicators are going against that. So, and if you're wondering, if you're like, okay, let's trust C-Zar's gut, I'm going to be honest with you guys. My gut lies to me all the time. Everybody says trust your gut, listen to your gut. Gut will tell you the right direction. Mine lies to me frequently. It does it all the time. So my gut's telling me we'll break out, but the charts are saying we're going to go down. I would listen to the charts. Okay. Personally. Anyways, Turbo, whenever it does move higher, which will be soon enough, by the end of this week, I would assume that we're probably above 003 even. We could be, if not there, 0028. We're at 0021 now, so a little bit of a move up. But I would think that by the end of the year, Turbo, you could see anything from, maybe about a 1 cent price, just above, just below, to potentially new all-time highs. I think the all-time highs, the 2.7 cent price and beyond, I think that'll be more reserved for like January and going into 2026. But ultimately, I think that you will go higher than that. I really do believe that Turbo has 100x potential in it. I mean, we could see this thing top off at 30 cents to 66 cents by the end of the cycle. Absolutely we could. That'd be like April, May. But by the end of the year, I would think, at best, maybe about 3 cents, 2.7 cents, maybe around 1.4 cents, somewhere in that range. Then going into January, we should be reaching for higher prices. But I got nothing else. Thank you all for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.